As an actor, you're almost like you go from job to job. You're a little more of an assassin, you know. You like come in, you do your thing, and then you like quietly exit, you know.
We're here to talk about so many things. Jerry, are you the busiest man in Hollywood?
You know, I really am this week, that's for sure. It's funny, as an actor, you go through such abject unemployment, and then I became a host a couple years ago, and man, maybe I should have been doing this longer. It's it's funny. As an actor, you just sit around waiting for the phone to ring, and then as a host, it just you know what it is. I think there's a lot of unscripted shows out there now. You know, I mean, Pictionary and The Real Love Boat, and I do a show called The Talk, and it's it's funny. Back in my day, it was everybody was part of a procedural. You know, like you were on like a procedural show that shot in LA, and you played either a cop or a doctor or an EMT. And these days, it seems it's like unscripted TV, like reality television. Listen, my viewing habits have totally changed. My wife and I watch a tremendous amount of reality television. Tremendous.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I would say over what the past 2 decades, it's just grown and grown and grown, and now it's kind of like it's sort of the main dish for a lot of television. And okay, so let's run down the list. So let's start Pictionary. Pictionary is so great, so much fun. Are you having as much fun filming and working with all those people as it looks like you are?
I am. It's fun when people are great artists. It's really fun when people are terrible artists. You know, I'm just at that age where Pictionary is like my jam, because I have 2 13-year-old daughters. I have parents, you know, they have grandparents. It's the game everybody plays.
Yeah.
And I think it's going well. It's tough. You know, they tried to make another Pictionary show in the 90s with Alan Thicke hosting it. God rest his soul. Yeah. And it didn't work out for one reason or another. And I think we got it this time. It's a really fun game to play and a fun game to watch.
It is very much. I've watched a few episodes myself, and it's very enjoyable. Let me ask you this: Are you much of a drawer yourself? I personally am not a good drawer at all. So I would.
I'm a pretty terrible artist, but I will tell you, since playing Pictionary, I've become like an expert on what to draw. Like, for example, like anything with ship, pirate ship, shark, fish, fishing, hook, anything with that, the first thing you draw is water. You draw the water. Okay.
Interesting. All right. This is good.
Anything
to know.
The most difficult thing to draw is anything relating to horses. It's amazing. Like, are you on a desk right now? Do you have a pen and pad?
I have a desk. I don't have a pen and paper. No, I don't have one. Wait, hang on. I've got. Give me one second. I got it.
We'll just hang out here.
Oh, pen and paper. Let's do it. Pen and paper. Okay.
You got it?
Draw a horse.
Draw a horse. I'm gonna give you 20 seconds.
Okay. All right.
Go.
All right. This is
5 seconds.
Already bad. I don't even know.
10 seconds.
Yeah, none of this is. This is, and then that's
5 seconds.
No. Yeah, it's
All right, let's see it. Let's see your horse.
Absolutely looks like a dragon. My horse looks like a dragon with an issue. He has a foot issue here. And no
people,
horses,
myself included, we can't draw horses. We can't do it. Yours was actually better than mine ever was or could be. Wow. And yours was really a weird looking horse.
Oh yeah, that's a strange horse. That could not be further from. I don't know what I was doing. There's a bump on its face. I think it's interesting that being the host of the show, like you're without actually doing it, like you're learning about the skill set a little bit,
Yeah.
just by watching other people play.
Well, I guess it's everything. I mean, you don't have to be the most talented person. You just have to have the biggest skill set. I mean, but that said, it's amazing to see how how creative some people are. I mean, like, for example, like, I mean, this is a gross example, but like toe jam.
Okay.
Okay. Most people would write like try and draw actually the jam inside of someone's toe, but like
No.
other people like know to just draw a toe and then draw like a jar of jam. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of a gross example.
No, that's a really good example. I mean, those compound words,
Okay, you know what? I'm going to tell you. Watching people write doorbell, I would try to draw a doorbell. I'd try and draw, a bell that's next to a door and point to something. But some people are so smart; they just draw a door and then they draw a bell. And it's like, I know that sounds like simple, but like when there's a clock and you're on TV, some people are just smarter than me.
Yeah, no, it's all about being able to think quickly, I think, in most of the situations. And I certainly, I mean, I can attest now that it's tough to work under that kind of pressure. But man, it's a fun show. It looks like everybody's having a good time, and
we have a good time.
I think it's going to find a significant. I think people are really going to respond to it. And okay, so moving on. So next up, let's go the talk, man. I mean, you've been on there for a year now as a main host.
Have not been fired.
You've not been fired. You've lasted. I mean, that's something. Some people have a hard time making it past a couple of weeks. You made it a year.
I made it a year.
This question that I have, I want to be very sensitive about how I ask the question. When you first joined, shortly thereafter, you did an interview. I was reading an interview you did where you talked about how when you joined the panel and you came on, you noticed that there was, definitely a lasting sort of trauma that everyone had kind of experienced, and there was an air of that taking place. And
Sure.
I wanted to know how you feel now, a year later, a year removed from that, and how the group has grown, how the show has evolved over this past year.
It feels a lot better. I mean, for those who don't know what we're talking about, Sharon Osbourne, the very funny Sharon Osbourne, the very entertaining Sharon Osbourne, was on the talk, left the talk, and I sort of took that empty seat. I didn't take a job from Sharon Osbourne. No one can replace her.
Sure.
Sharon Osbourne is irreplaceable. But they were still dealing with like the repercussions of like a public sort of breakup.
Yeah.
And it was a really easy crowd to please because, they had just gone through a breakup. It's like meeting someone who's just been through a really bad divorce.
Okay.
It's pretty, you can have a pretty fun time with someone who's just been through the ringer.
Okay.
So it was sort of an easy audience. It was an easy audience. It made my job easy. They were everyone was ready to have a good time.
I was going to say, do you feel like, did you feel like it was a better role for you as far as like being able to come in and just kind of like my goal here is going to be engagement and laughter. I want people to be engaged.
I got to tell you, I didn't have any goals. I was It just been through the pandemic. I hadn't worked in a couple of years.
Okay.
It was very quiet for me, and I had done some hosting in my past, and they needed to temporarily fill that seat for a little bit, so they brought me in there, and it just was the right time, just the right time, And I'm having fun there right now. It's really fun. I'll tell you, I've never had so much of a day job. Like I show up to the same place every day. It is weird having a day job. Like
Yeah.
I just go to the same place every day, and I have a desk, and like I see the same people. It's not what I'm used to as an actor. As an actor, you're almost like you go from job to job. You're a little more of an assassin, you know. You like come in, you do your thing, and then you like quietly exit, you know. And this is a little different. I'm there every day, so it's an adjustment for me too, you know. I also have to figure out how do I make it interesting for myself, because you come into the same place every day. I've never done it.
Yeah. Trying to,
and I try to switch it up. I try to switch it up as much as possible, but some people don't like you to switch it up too much. So I'm sort of dealing with it too. I'm still new to it. I've only been there a year. I can't say I speak from experience.
Sure enough. No, that's perfectly fair. That's perfectly fair. Well, it's great at him show. Lots again, big audience, lots of fans. So that's good. And then this week, debut of The Real Love Boat, CBS, October the 5th, Wednesday night, October the 5th, CBS, 9 p.m. Eastern is when it debuts. And it is you and your lovely wife, Rebecca Romijn, and you guys are hosting this romance competition. What's kind of the essential premise of The Real Love Boat?
You know, it's on right in between Survivor and Amazing Race. So I think it's, you know, it's sort of like Survivor a little bit. It's a little Amazing Race, except there's like a relationship aspect to it.
Yeah.
You know, there's like sort of competitions where couples compete against other couples to show their compatibility with each other. And at the same time, it's like a relationship elimination show. So there's a little bit of, you know, will you accept this rose to it as well? It's
yeah, sure, yeah.
It's funny. I really I'd never hosted a reality show, a competition show, and man, I really enjoyed that too. It was, I told you I watch a lot of reality television, so my wife and I were ready for this.
And now you are reality television. I watched some like the intro and saw some clips and things like that. And something that I picked up on was it. And again, I want to be careful. I don't want to be rude to other shows, but The Real Love Boat seems a lot less, I want to say, predatory, but that's a bit dramatic, than other romance.
Well, I mean, a couple basic things. We made sure people weren't just like wasted on the show, you know. I mean, and I understand how that's compelling television. I do watch a lot of that television where people get drunk and then you film it, you know.
Sure.
We're not like that. We're a little classier than that. You know, it's more if you watch Amazing Race and Survivor, there's a competitive desire to win that we have in The Real Love Boat, while at the same time, you know, we're looking to hook people up. So it's like this competitive desire to win as a couple. It's really interesting. I really love what they did with the formula and everything. I had a boss there named Jay Beanstalk, who just kept saying to Rebecca and I, like, I'd have a question about the show, and he'd go, trust the formula, trust the formula.
Trust the formula.
And it's really there. It's a fun show.
Yeah. Well, look, like I said, we're I mean, the world's tuning in, man. Wednesday night, October 5th, 9 p.m. Eastern on CBS. And Jerry, I want to thank you for your time today. I have one last thing. This is purely a coincidental situation, okay? I just so happen to get a early advance, whatever, copy of the Steelbook for Scream 2, okay? This is coming out on Tuesday, October 4th. So right before, the day before Real Love Boat airs. And this is the back. Hello, Sydney. Remember?
So what is it?
So this is a steelbook that you know, Miramax Paramount has put together, that they're releasing to honor the 25th anniversary of Scream 2. It's been 25 years, man. Isn't that crazy? Can I tell you something? Scream 2 was the first horror movie I ever saw in theaters.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's a
like
good one.
that's, it goes like I'm curious about like your reflection on the film now. I mean, 25 years later, Halloween season is here.
You know, just how it's crazy how the Scream franchise has endured. You know, Kevin Williamson, Wes Craven, they all they they gave life to something, pun intended, that endures to this day. You know, it's sort of like,
Yeah,
you know, making fun of the horror genre or sort of parodying the horror genre while making really good horror.
yeah.
I mean, I'm just so proud to be a part of it.
Gary, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. You're awesome. Pictionary, local listings. The talk is on at 2 p.m. Eastern on CBS every day, right? And then we already covered The Real Love Boat multiple times. Thank you, Jerry.